Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.
We gon' run this town.
Well, hey, what is up, everybody?
Hopefully that
intro got you all pumped up and everything. But we're back at it. Another Thursday night paint night. It's me, your host, Adam Paul. I got my wife over here. She's looking over all the comments. If you guys have any questions during this live event, like always, just go ahead and ask them in the comments. We'll look through them and then we will answer what we know. So cool. Let's go through who we got here tonight. Roman, what up, dude? We got Chris, Nate, John, Opie, Gerald, Roman, Justin, Anthony, Nate, probably said this a couple times, Lewis, Gino, Darren, Big Papa, Austin. What up, guys? Opie, I say Opie. Got Joe, Michael, Swampy. All right. Hopefully you got Killer Capricorn. I think he won last week. I don't know if you guys got your stuff yet or not, but everything should be in the mail. If we miss anything of anybody that won something, just let us know. We'll take care of you. But we do have more winners that's going to happen tonight, and we do have some more stuff we're going to show you. But here is, if you remember tuning in last week, we did do the tank here, and we did do the candy flames on here. And this has been clear coated with 3 coats of clear coat on top of this. So if you remember last week, we scuffed this down. It was just a silver metal flake. We taped out this design and we registered it with black candy. We taped this out, black candy fade around the tape lines. And then I got pretty close with my airbrush, and I was able to, without masking anything out, I was able to fade the purple candy up in here. And so you can see that. But I am in the process of scuffing this down with the 600 grit sanding sponges, as you can see right here. So I've been scuffing this down. Like I said, 4 coats of clear coat on here. It looks like it needs a little more scuffing there, but these 600 grit sanding sponges, they help smooth out the surface. We want to make sure that, especially where we're going to be laying down the silver leaf, that we want to make sure that that's like baby butt smooth. That needs to be super smooth, super clean. The cleaner and smoother that is, and the better we lay out our leaf, the more brilliant and better those spins are going to look. So it's all about the prep work. It's all about how you lay out the glue and some other things, and we'll go through that tonight. And but so yeah, enough babbling on. We are going to give something away. So hit that like. Once we, I think what we do last week. Once we got 25 likes, we went ahead and fired off the first spin of that wheel for you guys to win. And we'll get some options to what you guys can win too. So I know last week we kind of just were choosing what you guys won. So I think I'll let you guys choose on these ones. We'll give you some options to choose from. So if you want, we'll do a LiME shirt and maybe a candy pack, or maybe a leafing kit. So if you want either 3 of those, we'll be able to take care of that for you. So if you can win what you need rather than what we're going to give you. So hopefully that helps out a little bit too.
Looks like we're at 26 likes.
All right. Okay. Well, easy enough. So we'll give everybody just one more minute. How the rules work. You just need to live in the US or Canada, so we're able to ship to you. And in order to enter, you just have to hashtag LiME in the comments. And it doesn't really matter if it's capitalized or whatever. Just needs to be LiME. So, and then we'll spin that wheel, and we'll get you guys winning something. Hopefully.
Scott asked, how hard is flat clear coat?
How hard is it? Like, how hard does it dry? Oh, yeah. Well, it dries hard. So if that's it, then it dries just as hard as anything else. It's all about the prep work when it comes to the flat clear coat. I personally like to clear coat it with regular clear coat first, sand it down smooth like I'm doing here, put it back in the booth, make sure it's all cleaned up, and then hit it with 2 to 3 really light coats of the matte or satin clear coat, because you can't cut and buff that. So the surface has to be really smooth and really clean.
Okay, 2 questions. Then let's spin the wheel because we were at 26.
Okay,
So
yeah, let's do it.
2 questions. One is, what do you do with the tanks that you paint live?
The stuff that I paint live, I just collect. Every once in a while, we have given some stuff away.
And what needle size do you use in the airbrush for the sizing glue?
You can use anything from a 0.3 to a 0.7. So you just may need to change up the way you spray it a little bit. Like if you're all the way to 0.7, you might want to like stand back a little farther. We can kind of go over that too. But I'll be using a 0.4, so it's kind of going to be in between, sort of, in between the 3 and the 5. Good. Let's do it. Good luck, guys. All right. Looks like Vic won. Good job, Vic. So all you have to do is email us at the info@LiME line. I think she's going to put it in the comments there. info@limeline.com. Let us know that you are a winner, and you can either choose from, and this is going to go with everybody that wins tonight. You can either get the LimeLine button-up shirt. You want to show that in the pictures? You think you can do that? Close out that. And then go into brand. There you go. So you can either win this button-up shirt. It's right on the top.
Black. No.
Oh. No, that's it.
Oh, it's gray. Ours is gray.
Ours is gray, but that looks a little black. So it's okay. They get the point. You're going to get that shirt in gray. Or we can do a leafing kit that will include the spinner. Yeah. What's that? Unless Ashley says no. You saying no, Ashley? She didn't like that. Or with the spinner. You're going to get the spinner and the leaf and the roller kit. Or...
So what did I get? Leaf? Because I got to write it down.
Yeah, they're going to get the leaf.
Okay.
The roller.
All the colors leaf or one?
I'm trying to think because that's already like $100. Obviously, they picked that one. We're just gonna go with the silver leaf, the roller and the brush, and the spinner. Or you can choose the shirt, or you can choose the candy pack, which is the 3 candies. All those are valued probably about the same. So, yeah, sorry to make that confusing. I just want to make sure they're getting what they want, you know.
You're going to have to say it again later.
Okay, so hopefully you guys saw where I was at on that. Let's go ahead and play I'm going to finish sanding the rest of this down. You can see that this is all smoothing out really good. A little bit right there I need to do. You can see the orange peel in that. But you can see I'm knocking it down, taking the gloss out, and I'm smoothing it out, especially right where I'm going to be doing the leaf. So let's go ahead and we're going to clip to the video of how I got to this point on this tank. That way, if you guys haven't watched my stuff before or you haven't caught the last couple of lives, we'll bring everybody up to speed on where we're at on this tank in this 2-minute video. What's up, guys? Adam at Time Warp here, the YouTube channel that's dedicated to helping you succeed as a custom painter.
Thursday night is paint night. Join us live every Thursday night, 7 p.m. California time, only here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
All right, hopefully that's got you all up to speed on where we're at. So I just got done scuffing this down. It's been a week now. So I've got down scuffing this down with the 600 grit sanding sponge. And I'll get this cleaned up and we'll get some leaf laid out on this. But we had somebody come through with a super chat.
Yeah, so John Sabia, $10 super chat. And
Oh,
question link.
Okay, even better.
He said, did my first candy paint on a mini hood. When I pulled up my tape lines, some of the candy pulled up with it. What caused that to happen?
So that's just it's kind of the nature of the beast. That happens to all of us. There could be multiple reasons why that happened. It depends on what you sprayed it on. Maybe if it was straight onto if it was just on the base coat. But most likely you may have oversaturated the edge. You could have pulled the tape too early and the paint might have been still a little bit too tacky. Could be one of those two things, but most of the time it's oversaturation. It's better to apply lighter coats and let it blend out than just hammering down on it. And it happens to all of us. I mean, a lot of my lives, I'll get too carried away. And it's easy to do. And then, rushing for time and then you end up pulling the tape too early or something like that. But yeah, don't let that discourage you. Usually it's when you bridge over the tapes. You have the tape down and you saturate it so much that it's just like bridging over the edge. You got to be real careful with that. When you see that happen, you want to make sure you pull your tape away at a 45-degree angle away from those areas that may have been oversaturated. You can also, with the candy paint, you can also mix it a little stronger to be able to create less build if you want to get those really concentrated deep candy colors in there. So try that. Hopefully that works. Sometimes it could be the product. I don't know what you're laying it down on. If it's on plastic or something like that, it could have adhesion problems just that way. But most cases, you shouldn't have a problem if you don't oversaturate it.
Okay. Then the next question set is from Justin. He said, do you have to clear before you leaf after graphics, or can you do it all in the same layer?
Okay, you can do it all on the same layer. You're going to get best results if you have like a really smooth surface. Being that it's clear coated and sanded, you're able to clean it like I am right now. And, you're able to really just see how smooth it really is. When you have base coat, you have a little bit of texture. So that leaf will kind of build up a little bit on that texture. It still looks great. But if you want to be really good, I would say clear coat it. I like to clear coat it in between personally. Not necessary though.
The next one is from Sig P220. He said, I recently went to a bike/car show and there was a ton of custom paint. Are you aware of how above average your paint skills are? Your tape lines are so damn crisp while you make it look so easy.
Yeah, I appreciate that comment. I don't know. I don't think I'm really any better than anybody else. I see a lot of people that are a lot better than me. But this really isn't that hard. I'm just good at it because I've had a lot of practice. But I've been good for pretty good at painting for a while now, so it doesn't take that long to get up to speed. So anybody can do it. I may make it look a little easier, but
is the leafing hard to do for first timers?
You will always learn. Your second go around will always go better than your first go around. So that being said, you probably get pretty good results your first time. You're going to get better results your second time and your third time, and your fourth and fifth, you're going to have the hang of it. So I would say practice at least a few times to get it down. Try leafing something that might be like we did a couple of weeks ago. You can catch one of our old lives where we did some of the things wrong that would cause those problems, like oversaturating the glue, not cleaning the surface. And I was able to show what it looks like when you make those mistakes. And, sometimes they can be horrible, and then you have to, completely take off the glue, or most times you can just relief right over the top. So we're going to be double leafing this because we want it to turn out super good. So we'll talk more about that, but yeah, thanks for that.
Are you guys going to be coming out with a tape bundle?
We do have the masking tape bundled up. The tape bundle, that might be a good idea. We need to get through the leaf bundle first, but we're kind of running low on some of our inventory, so can't do that quite yet. All right.
And then you got a $5 super chat.
Oh yeah, thank you. Who's that?
From Opie.
Opie, what up, dude?
Said thank you for these videos.
You got it. Thank you for being here. I mean, having 100 people here is better than having nobody. So yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, once we get up to 50 likes too, guys, we'll go ahead and spin that wheel again.
Another question. Where do you come up with the taping designs? I just sit and stare at the object, and it drives me nuts to come up with something I like.
I like to follow the contour of the part. So as you can see here, I started this tank out by finding the center line, and then I ran this first line that I'm laying down now. Now I'm just kind of following what I had, and then kind of just worked off of that. Flames are kind of an easy design. Obviously, you're going to bring the flames this way, like towards the back. So yeah, I mean, it's just experience.
Sam says, found the channel because I want to learn a new skill while on bed rest for 3 weeks. Lots of great content. This is my first live. He's been
nice.
waiting since Friday.
Well, welcome.
Scott says, I sanded through to the primer somehow when getting my parts to do graphics. It is only a very small area, about 1 inch long by 16 inch wide. What would be the best way to fix it?
You would, I would touch it up with your airbrush with whatever colors right there. You may have to clear it one time in between. So yeah, touch it up. And if it still doesn't, and then clear it, or, I mean, I'd have to see it, but yeah, if it still doesn't look right, clear coat it and then touch it up again.
Opie says, I want to practice this on a sheet of tinfoil aluminum. No, a sheet of aluminum from Home Depot. Will this work?
Yeah. You can probably do that. Yeah.
Do you wash and reuse your rags?
I used to, yes. I use the microfibers like crazy, and I used to wash those. Actually, I took them to a laundromat for a while, but then they're pretty cheap. I don't know. I quit washing them. I would like downgrade them. The brand new ones would clean, like all the stuff I needed, like super clean, and then they get downgraded into like paint cleanup and stuff like that. So I could always just kind of reuse them. Get some more light over here, huh?
Can you wait too long to pull tape?
No. Well, no, not really.
Do you mix different size of flake? And if yes, what ratio of what sizes?
Oh, that's better. We got better light here now. I'm sorry, what was that?
It's on the screen.
I'm just amazed that we got better light now. I was like, now we can actually see. Do you mix different size of flake? And if yes, what ratio and what sizes? It's a good idea. I mean, I like the idea of mixing flake. This is already mixed flake. This is 0.08 and 0.04. And they're already mixed together in the LiME line. So the LiME line pack is already mixed with those two together. The 0.04 and the 0.08. That's what you're looking at here. But yeah, you could do 0.25 and then like 0.15. I know people do that too, although it is more work. You're going to have a bigger gun to spray that. And really the amount of sparkle doesn't change. It's like, personally, I feel like this is the best combo. It's still easy to manage.
Do you ever have issues with the 2K clear yellowing or failing over time? How does it stand up to the factory clears?
Nowadays that really is not an issue. Maybe back in the lacquers days and stuff like that, I haven't had problems with anything yellowing ever in my career. So yeah, I guess I'm not the one to talk to about that. But yeah, back in the days, I know there was always people having issues, but no, I've never seen anything in mine yellow or even with any of the products that I've used over the years.
Big Country says, in quotation, I've seen a lot better than me. Just shows the respect you have to stay humble all while appreciating all the others in the line of work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good. There's people that have learned from me that have just started that I'm like questioning, are they better than me already? And it's only been like 6 months. But I don't know. I mean, I just do it faster, I think, you know. I definitely know how to fix mistakes pretty dang good. I think that's where I probably excel, is messing up and being able to fix it after that, which is a very, very important thing.
You are very humble anyhow. Painted Pictures says, I've been watching for a while. Love your work, and I have a lot of your products. Look up The Outlaw. It's a Doc Holiday theme, S10. Did that one in 2020. Thanks for all the videos.
I swear I've seen something with that. I'm always keeping my eyes peeled for paint on the internet, so I think I may have actually laid my eyes on something like that.
Cody Daniels sent you a $10 super chat and said, yeah, thank you. Been using the new gun for just clear, and I love how it lays the clear so good.
Nice. Yep, I use that same gun on this one. Oh yeah, that's smooth.
Someone said, do you paint real flames?
Yes, I do. I can do a tutorial on that. I've done a few. I've actually done a video of skull and flames. But maybe we're due up for another flame job. Realistic flame job, huh?
Maybe.
Someone said, are you using a wider tape now?
This one? I'm using an 1/8 inch tape because I did use a 16th inch underneath this, but I'm not going to be painting anything here. All I need is that one edge. So I just use 1/8 inch. I like to use if I can get away with not using 16th inch, I would rather use 1/8 inch because it gives you less of a chance to go like squirrely. Like 1/8 inch has a more of a chance to kind of like wave. 1/8 inch stays stiffer. A 1/4 inch is even better. So if like you're new, you could do this in 1/4 inch. Although the edges are going to be, I mean, those edges, that's not that gnarly of a roll. So you should be fine.
John said the only bad thing about these videos is the time. I lose a lot of sleep here in Florida on Thursday nights. So worth it though.
This one won't be that long. So
he said, I'm learning so much.
Yeah. And also, which reminds me to say that you can rewatch these. I mean, obviously you can't participate because you'll be talking to a recording, but you can rewatch whatever happens here tonight, the next day or the next week, or if there's something that you need to know. But we talk a lot about a lot of stuff. So if you're looking to waste some time, you can always go back into the old lives and catch those.
Juan says, I hate flames, but I love the channel, so I'm here with some popcorn.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Scott says, how hard is it to do double flames that overlap?
It's not that bad. Yeah, once you know a couple things, like when I do the double flames that overlap, I don't figure out the overlap until after. So I just lay the flames and allow them to overlap on top of each other, and then I'll trim out the ones that overlap and underlap. It's a pretty easy thing, actually. And then I should show that, and I should show how to do an extra pinstripe on that. Yeah, maybe I know that next week I'm also going to be doing this tank because we're going to be doing an image transfer, but maybe the week after that it might be time to do something with maybe a real flames inside of a classic flame. I don't know. Seems pretty 90s to me, 2000-ish. but we can do that for sure.
Frank said, watching for months and I finally made an account today. Thank you for all that you do. Customer service is A1 as well, just in case anyone is wondering.
I think appreciate that. Yes.
Shine Custom says, how would you bury really large glass? Just keep clearing and flashing or stopping and scuffing? My current tank has 5 coats of clear, still rough, probably needs another 3.
Okay. Oh yeah, very good question. So really in one session of clear coat, like if you can't really, it's like 5 coats would be max in my opinion. And then after that, you would need to let it dry and then you scuff it down. When it comes to large stuff like flake that needs to be sprayed out of like a 1.7 or bigger, you would do another clear session again before you started your graphics. So like this one, we were able to prime it, base coat it. We sprayed the flake on. We put it straight into the clear coat, sprayed the flake on, and then we sprayed it with another 4 coats of clear coat with just no flake. We were able to scuff it down and get it smooth to be able to do the graphics on it. Now, if you were doing the glass, after laying the glass, laying the extra clear on top, letting it dry, sanding it smooth, you're going to find that there's still too much texture. You're going to want to throw it back into the booth for another 3 to 4 coats of clear, whatever you want to do, and then scuff it down at that point, and then you'll have it down to about what we were at normal. So it is more work. Does it look better? Yes, it does. And it's actually a little brighter too, especially when you're using the LiME glass, because it is more of like a whitish. So it's going to punch out the colors a little bit more. And I do it when I want, but this is a lot easier. So sometimes I prefer just the silver.
Vic says, love the videos, learned so much. Two Wheel Toys said, just bought a bunch of your products online and have been asking some questions on Instagram. You're awesome for being so responsive and helpful. Do you ride? If so, what?
Oh, yes, I appreciate that comment. I do. I ride when I have time. Let's see, what do I usually ride a shovel head that's it's the Sturgis edition, 1983 shovel head. So it's a kick and electric start, so that's a lifesaver for sure. And then I have a FXR. That's what year is that? 84 FXR that kind of just sits around. And then I have a couple of bikes that just kind of sit around here. I have a Sportster and a bagger and a couple other things that don't run. So yeah, fun when I have time.
Okay, and we're at 73 likes, so we're going to spin the wheel.
Oh.
I want to ask you a couple questions so I don't get these lost in here. And also, Cheese Grits and Nike will give you a $20 super chat.
Whoa, thanks. What is it? What's his name? NyQuil?
Cheese Grits and Nike. And he says, thanks for everything. Super jealous of your Mendez class.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. You can probably catch him somewhere, though. He does it other places.
So let's see. The Sig P says, are you aware of a regulator that will let you run an airbrush on the big compressor?
Yeah, I think any regulator really will do that, but you may need to find a couple of different connections to make it hook up to the regulator. I think you can get those at like Lowe's or Home Depot. Just look in their fitting section there for the air supply.
Okay, let's spin the wheel, and then I'll come back and try to find my place and ask you. Well, there's about 8 or 10 questions to ask you. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, busy night. All right. I love it. All right, let's do it. All right, we got the Sig P220 winner. So once again, you have a choice of winning the shirt. You can get the leaf kit, which is not even really a thing. and or a, what was that? The tri-pack leaf pack. So you get the three candies: the blue, the gold, and the red.
You said we could give away black candy one time.
Oh, okay.
Maybe next time.
Next one we'll go. We're giving people a choice this time, though.
Okay, let's see. Another question.
Why don't you use a masking paper?
Oh yeah, I could do that. Well, I actually forgot it at my other shop, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. And this has all been clear coated and protected, so I'm not worried about like anything peeling off or anything. So I think we're good.
Can you bury flake with inner coat clear rather than 2K clear before moving to taping?
No, nope. That's you actually have to scuff it and get it smoother than that. If the tape is not going to stick to that, and you're not going to get very crisp lines. You know, somebody did mention how they thought that my stuff got really crisp lines. Well, it's because I'm taping on a smooth surface. You know, so if your base coat or anything, if you could tape on base coat. I actually got that question today. You can do graphics on the base coat, but if you're going to do flake, it needs to have a 2K clear coat that levels out and hardens, and then you can actually sand smooth. Inner coat clear and clear base coat doesn't work that way. It goes on thin. Even though you can pile it on thick, it's not going to sand to a resin. It's not going to sand into a powder. It's just going to kind of ball up. You can kind of do it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't do it that way. I don't, if people sand it, I don't understand why. To this day, I still don't understand why people sand inner coat clear. Please tell me why.
Okay, can you use leaf for small projects like plastic models? Not looking to spin, just want the accent on the model. Thoughts?
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, you're still gonna want to spray on that sizing glue though, because you want to make sure it levels out smooth.
Can you explain taping inside flames versus outside flames at some point?
Oh.
Maybe that should be
Yeah, see, you know what?
video.
I never really I painted on the inside of the flame. I never usually paint on the outside. Although I did on this one. Yes, you need to use 16th inch tape like I did here in order to do that. That way you can cut the edges easier. When you're using fat tape, you got a big tape to cut into a point. And then by the time you spray paint over that, it looks weird. You can tell that people have done it that way. I have this all taped up now, but that's why I always plan on painting the inside of the flame, because when your tape meets together into a point, if you're painting the inside, it's always perfect. If you're painting the outside, you're relying on your cut of the edge to show your point, to show the edge of the flame. So hopefully that makes sense. Because yeah, that's one thing I've learned is by doing that. I should probably do flames. It's telling me more that I should do flames in different ways, overlapping flames with real fire behind it. Maybe that'll be the next one. Okay.
How long should I let my clear dry before sanding?
Clear coat, you're gonna want to wait. Usually I wait till the next day, so 12 to 24 hours. Kind of depends on the clear coat and the temperatures. But yeah, if it seems dry, then you're good enough to go ahead and scuff it down.
How thin of a line can you foil? For instance, could you foil your 1/8 line that makes your flame?
Yep, you could. It's going to take more work. You're going to want to make sure that you get all your edges tucked in and everything. But yes, I have done flames actually. Do I have that helmet here? Huh, nope, it's at the other shop. But I do. I have done that before. I have flamed out. We actually have some pictures of some viewers. They have sent me pictures on Instagram. We said we were going to start showing those, but we have a couple of people we're going to show some pictures that they sent me. Let's go ahead and do that right now, real quick. So we do have, speaking of that, we have leafed flames right here. And this is FTC Designs on Instagram, FTC Designs 212. So yeah, he tagged me in this. He showed me it. Looked great. I have a lot of you guys that tagged me in, and we're going to keep showing some of this work. But click on that next one. So yeah, this one, he has the the basket weave. I guess that's a basket weave. Would that be a basket weave?
Checker.
The checkers. I can't remember what they call that.
The bubbles looks like.
Well, that has the bubbles. Yep. But very intricate. So yeah, speaking of the leafing, that one's leafed on the inside. We have one more person that we want to share his work. Blake Stanton sent me this the other day. So yeah, you can see he has his center line marked out there. We have some lace, which looks like some candy paint on top of flake. And this is obviously before clear coat, so looking good. But yeah, so if you want, we can, I don't really critique people's work, but we can always show people's work and see what they've been doing. Just go ahead and just tag me either on the LiME line on Instagram or on the Time Warp Custom Paint on Instagram. I'll try to get to those. But yeah, hopefully we can show everybody that kind of sends stuff in. I get a lot of stuff, but figured I'd show those. Maybe you're interested. Who knows? Okay.
Question. I know you're going to show the glue, so here's a question. Yeah, using the sizing glue, can you use a small brush to apply sizing glue on small plastic model parts?
Probably wouldn't do that. Well, you might be able to get away with it. Practice on something, maybe. And see if you already have the stuff, maybe practice. But yeah, your better option is still to spray it though. Okay, so I sprayed some of this in the cup. I'm just going to take some water. Oh, might be a little bit too much water.
While you're fixing your little mishap there.
Put a little more of that in there. Okay.
If you have a 5-layer paint job, do you have to strip it all off to do a repaint job?
A 5-layer?
Mm-hmm.
That's all personal preference. Is it your paint job that you put on top of it, or is it somebody else's paint job? How was it prepped? What was it done with? Usually I wouldn't want to paint on top of a paint job that's already been painted already. I do paint on top of factory paint though. Scuff it down, get it all nice and clean, sand out your rock chips. But yeah, don't strip it down. By no means strip down stock paint if it's good. If it's terrible, then yeah, get rid of it. But yeah, it all depends on preference on that. 5 coats is kind of a lot to start with already. All right, we have the airbrush filled up here. I want to make sure this is spraying correctly, because if you have any kind of like a buildup that happens on the tip here, like you want to make sure that tip is clean and there's no dried up glue or anything there, because if there is, it's going to like obviously cause it to splatter, and it's really, oh.
You did that right at this time.
What
It
the?
needed to splatter. Good job. You couldn't have timed that any better.
Where's my rag at? Get out of here.
All right, well,
Man. Hold on. It leaked out of my cap.
Mike Manning gave you a $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you. I need that.
Appreciate you sharing your knowledge. You dripped on the tank though.
Yeah.
Are you
appreciate that super chat. Thank you.
Are you going to candy over the leaf?
Yes, I'm going to, but I don't think I'm going to tonight. I prefer to actually pull the tape, and I know I need to do another layer of clear on this anyways before I do the transfer, so I might do it in the next layer.
What size of nozzle do you need for the in the airbrush with the glue?
You don't pretty much any nozzle is going to work. Anywhere from like a 0.3 to a 0.7.
People said
Money shot, bullet hole, premature.
Yeah, what the? Oh, there it is. I figured out where it's coming from. This wasn't screwed on all the way. The whole cup. These are interchangeable cups on these Iwatas, and it was loose. Okay, see,
Randy said, I ran out of line tape, so I had to use some other stuff I had that wasn't vinyl, and the quality just doesn't compare. The line tape is the best to use.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it is. It stays stuck longer. I mean, yeah, it's all around. I think it's pretty good stuff.
Gross.
If the
Okay.
if the stock motorcycle tank paint is good overall but has a nick down to metal, how would you go about prepping that before sealer?
So you would just sand it down and so it would flush it out, just blend it out in that area, and then you would just spot prime it with a little bit of. To be honest, if it's just a little spot, you would just take the can spot primer. That's just a one part in a can, and just hit it really light with a couple light coats. Let it blend out just in that one area. Don't put it over the whole tank because it doesn't need it. Don't spray over. Because some people are tempted just to spray the whole thing. If it's just 1K, just hit it in that one spot. Let it. No reason to add all that build to anything else that doesn't need it. A lot of times, a lot of painters will just keep a can of that 1K spot etch primer just like in their booth. So they, burn through right before they clean it up. They'll just hit it with that spot primer real quick, let it flash off. Good to go. Just keep it light. All right, so I'm kind of blowing this off to make sure that there's not like any kind of like hairs or anything that kind of sitting on it. I want to make sure that the glue stays really clean. I'm actually going to, my table here is like blowing stuff all over the place. So I'm just going to kind of just.
Do you have any experience with leaf from an arts and crafts store?
Yes, it doesn't spin correctly. It doesn't. Not all leaf is the same. So if you're getting bad results or you're using craft store leaf, that's most likely the case, because some leaf actually dulls when you spin it. If you don't plan on spinning it, you have a better chance of that leaf looking good. It's when you go to spin it, really. Okay. I think we're good to go here. Okay, I'm laying down the first light coat. Especially with the first coat, you want to make sure it's laid down really light so it dries quickly. You don't want it to sit on the surface and puddle up together, because that's what will happen. Like maybe you can show right on the back of this. Let me go. This will work perfect.
Someone asked, why would a rabbit be sitting on it? Did you say that? A rabbit was sitting on it?
A rabbit? No.
What the hell?
Speaking a new language. All right. Let's get some focus here, huh? Okay. So as you can see, well, this is not the greatest example because this is more of a porous. You can see if you lay it down thicker, it puddles up. Maybe the tape won't be so porous here.
Brian said, I stole a piece of my wife's yoga mat to put on my table. Works great. What the hell? I'd be like, hey, bro, hey, what happened? The dog eat my mat or what?
That's a great idea.
Don't you dare.
Your yoga mat's next.
Don't you dare. You take everything else of mine out in here.
Brian.
She's going to rat you out, your wife. Okay, let's check that out. I got 2 coats on there. It's starting to get a little tacky. I did it really light. So we're not laying out so much glue that it's like puddling out. It's not, pretty much once it hits the surface, it's starting to dry already. Once you get a little bit of glue on there, like I got a couple of light coats, this coat can go on a little bit heavier because there's already, it's already kind of on the surface and starting to dry. So when it lands, it has more glue to stick to, if that makes sense. when you're spraying the first coat of anything, and this goes for glue, this goes for clear coat, this goes for anything that you spray the first coat onto, remember that that's the coat that is going to be grabbing and binding onto the surface. So in my personal opinion, it's better to add lighter coats at first. That way it has a chance to kind of dry and set up a little bit, and you'll have a better chance of better adhesion at that point. So once again, if you're just trying to pile it all in at once, there's a good chance you're going to have some kind of problem. If not adhesion, it could be some other problems with maybe the paint kind of leaches into another color or whatnot. But yeah, remember, light coats of the first coat of anything.
Brian also said he stole his wife's Lazy Susan
Oh, that's bad.
for his spinning table. Why not? God damn you guys.
Y'all painting helmets on it? Oh, that's a great idea. What's the worst thing? I want to hear what the worst thing is you stole from your wife.
Stay in the damn house for your guys' craft nights. Go away.
I know. Every time you come in here, you find something of yours.
I know. There's a pan. There's a cup. There's a million damn cups.
You found your lighter last week.
Yeah, my lighter that I was like, try to light a candle. No lighter.
Okay, this is the third and final coat that I'm putting on this. I'm going a little bit heavier. Probably.
Tina said, haha, like when I went to use my colander and Cheddar had taken it outside and used it to sift out rocks of the cement. Yeah. What
Brilliant.
the heck, you guys? Brian said, I'm just borrowing them forever. You guys probably have all kinds of stuff out there. Adam's used curtains for some lace, a nightie for some lace on a bike. I think he's probably used a pair of fishnet tights for, I don't know. Hey, why do I only have one tight? One leg? What the heck?
Yeah, you'll find.
Oh, yep. John said mesh stockings. See? You go to wear them. One's missing. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, when you're done with them, put them back. When you're done spraying
Oh, yeah.
them.
Put them back with all kinds of paint on them. Yep, that would work.
Okay, we're good. We're good for the first go around here. Let's grab some. All right. I feel like Michael Jackson with one glove here. All right.
Steve said, or let's see, there's the first question up here. Joseph, I have a black matte helmet wanting to do white and gray tape lines and graphics, but want to keep the matte look. What's the process to clear and keep a matte look?
So you're going to want to clear it with regular 2K clear coat, gloss, and then sand it smooth and then hit it with the satin after that. Remember, light coats of the satin clear coat, though. You want to make sure that it's really clean and you don't have any, like, you're not laying it on like super thick.
Steve says, they haven't been stolen or taken. They're just moved to another location.
Yeah, they're still on the premises.
Swampy said, fishnet hose. Darren said, I used an old lace hanky from my wife to practice. Come to find out it was an old family heirloom from her grandma.
Oh,
that is not good. He said, wasn't a good day. See? Yeah, you guys, what the heck? Scott said, my wife bought me a Lazy Susan from Goodwill to use. There you go. Instead of taking it, just go to where I can say, hey, you know what? That Lazy Susan might be cool. Then she'd just go get you one. Don't take hers. Don't go taking her yoga mat. Just tell her, okay, just get you one. Oh my gosh, you guys are terrible. Well, I guess at least it's not just you, babe.
Yeah, it's not me. They're making me look better. And I feel better about myself now. I'm now validating for all the stuff I've done. All right, looks like I got one more right here.
Roman said, hey, I don't know if you remember that picture I sent you on Instagram on Raider's skateboard
Oh yes, I did.
with the shiny spots in the leaf that don't spin. Can you show me what causes that?
Yes, it's gonna be yeah, we might end up having it here. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'd be able to better explain it if it actually happens on this first layer. But I don't think so. I laid it out pretty good. But if you do let the leaf fold over onto itself, it will create a different look, like a shinier look. And also, another thing that could cause that, if you overlap your leaf and you have like you've like brushed it a lot, and then you've pounded another like piece of leaf, it's so fragile, it can get stuck in those scratches, and it like it's hard to get out. So only really the way to fix that is to re-leaf it again, which is not that big of a deal. Sometimes that does happen. All right, so before I go to roll this, I'm just going to pounce on the areas. Let's go to the little spot right here. I'm going to pounce down on the areas where they overlap. That way I'm not like tearing and like wiping away where they meet, because I could like take this and wipe it, and it would like literally like tear the leaf, and you would have like a spot there. So I just like to make sure that I kind of pounce down on everything, because you don't want to be wiping on top of the glue either. Because if you tear it away and then you keep wiping, all you're doing is you're just scrubbing this brush on top of that glue that doesn't have any leaf on it. So it's not going to make it sticky, so you can fix it. So you want to make sure you find those errors in the leaf before you go like all wild with.
On your second layer of leaf, do you try to brick or overlap your edges, or does it not matter?
You know, I try not to make the edges in the same spot. But yeah, like if there was a seam there, I would try to make the seam not there again.
Darren said his wife did have a second hanky, so thank God for that. Yeah, you guys. Oh my gosh, that's
Hey, they don't need to be lectured, okay?
no, I'm sure he probably feels just as bad, but he doesn't need a lecture. He probably was like, "Oh shit." John said, "Putting down leaf is almost as messy as spraying flake."
Yeah, it is. It's kind of messy.
James Sapp is a new member.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, so you can do that just by clicking become a member. You do get some perks with that. You get, I think it depends on what level of member. You get either 5 or 10% off of everything in the Big Cartel LimeLine website. And then, yeah, that's what you get. That's kind of what there is there. One day, hopefully, I can build some personal content there, but I feel like it should go out to everybody. Okay.
Thoughts on leaf in a roll versus sheet?
I like them both. I prefer them in the sheet form, although the roll works good too. To be honest with you, the leaf sheets, they both spin good, the roll and the leaf. I feel like if I was to choose, I would choose the leaf sheets like I'm doing here. I feel like it might lay out a little bit nicer, but both are good. Let me show something here. I did this in the gold roll leaf right here. So if you're looking right here, this is done in gold, and it is on the roll. So that turned out good.
Carrie says, cut your leaf into strips prior to opening it. More bang for your buck.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. Double your money.
Someone said, looks like a makeup brush.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
You stole that from me too?
No.
Just kidding.
Yeah, if you can't get one, you don't want one from me, you just take your wife's.
That's not a good idea. We put all kinds of stuff all over your lip.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Fault, okay?
Get some blush in there.
Don't do it, yeah. It would probably not be good for your leaf.
Yeah.
Killer Capricorn said, now she has hankies, one a different color than the other. And Darren said, yeah, like 5 colors.
All right, this is laying out really good. It's getting really shiny already, and I really haven't brushed on it too much. But we are using this roll here to make sure that we're getting good contact between the leaf and the glue. Because it's all about how it spins at the end, you know, and how your edges look. Because if you don't plan on pinstriping this, which we're not, we're going to rely on making sure that we have nice crisp edges on this.
John said Adam is trying to get us beat to death. Oh, trust me, he's had his own beating to death over here.
We need all your wife's emails right now. Yeah, I know.
Wondering where the sparkles come from. That also can get you in trouble too.
Yeah. Where you been?
Where the heck you been?
I swear, girl, just been metal flaking all day. Boss, yeah.
Have you ever sprayed chrome or whatever that reactive mirror paint is?
Yeah.
That be an alternate to unspun leaf.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you not the stuff I've used, just not it's not enough of a mirror effect, and it's really hard to use anyways. But there is that liquid stuff that you can spray on. I don't know. I talked to somebody I talked to recently did that, but once again, it's a whole nother process. I don't know. I think there's not much that really beats the look of leafing, you know. It just makes anything look more fancy. Like it adds a touch of elegance to everything. This wouldn't be nearly the paint job if it didn't have this leaf in there for sure.
How to prep chrome for paint? How do you do that?
I like to use either 80 grit or 180 grit, and then you would hit it with a either an epoxy primer and then a sandable primer. Or if you don't think that you really like sand it into that chrome too much, you probably just could use an sandable primer that sticks to metal. It's meant to direct to metal, and you should be good because there should be enough corrosion protection on top of that sanded chrome. You wouldn't have to worry about it. But yeah, the epoxy primer is going to be able to withstand corrosion more. When you hear epoxy primer, you know that's going to withstand corrosion a little better than like a sandable primer. But it's not epoxy is not really meant to be sanded. It can be scuffed and then shot over again with another primer that is more sandable. But epoxy dries so hard and it just doesn't sand. It's not really meant for that purpose. So sometimes you have to go through both the epoxy and the sandable primer. Kind of depends. If there's any kind of sort of rust already forming, then definitely do the epoxy first.
Do you ever leaf wider than 1 inch? If so, would you engine turn it?
I would, but I'd probably use a bigger engine turner, like 1.5 inches. But no, I'm actually looking to maybe on some of the next ones to be doing smaller strips, because we do have a 1/2 inch spinner that I think I used it on the last one, didn't I? Oh yeah, I did the every other one. Yeah, I did do that. So yeah, I mean, there's I'll be doing some smaller strips on the next ones.
Have you ever done a pattern to look like carbon fiber?
I have, and it depends on what you think looks like carbon fiber, because there's some techniques to where you can use the you know, that mat that you put in your toolbox drawers. It's like I think I have some in there somewhere. You want to look in that top drawer, second drawer down?
Yeah, you stole that from my pantry shelf.
No, I didn't. Bought that at Sears a long time ago, back when they used to be open.
This.
Oh yeah, there we go. This is kind of a hackish way to do it.
That might be under your wife's rug. If you guys want to go.
Yeah, you can use this and spray through this and use like a pearl, and then some people will like hit it with a brown afterwards, a candy brown, because it kind of looks like carbon fiber kind of has a brown tint to it. But I've used this method before. I don't know if this is the actual best stuff. I think you can find some better patterns Feels like these holes should be bigger, but yeah, I don't know.
Snapfly said, I don't have a wife to steal lace from. I went to Goodwill and found some lace in the women's section, then realized how awkward
I was gonna say.
I was going to be checked out of the cashier, so I just left.
As long as you don't try them on in the waiting room or in the fitting room, you'll be okay. They won't think nothing of it there. Okay, so you know, to be honest with you, this probably doesn't need 2 coats of leaf, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Does it? I mean, yeah, we're definitely gonna do it because we want this thing to turn out really good. So we're gonna leaf it twice.
Steve says, I'm
To
trying to
figure out how to emboss the leafing like with something like a paisley. Well,
Yeah, I've tried to emboss it before. It really doesn't work that way.
what primer would you like to use for carbon fiber?
On carbon fiber?
Yeah, Brian said he used his wife's out of her cupboard. You guys. He said she had extra.
Yeah, was that a question I'm supposed to answer? Or what?
What primer would you like to use for carbon fiber?
Oh, on top of carbon fiber? Is that what it is? I would use probably adhesion promoter. You might not need to use anything. You might just be able to scuff it down and get away with spraying right on top of that. But I would definitely, I'd probably use an adhesion promoter, light coats of that, and then go straight to base coat.
How small of a pinstripe can you spin and be able to see it?
It depends on the spinner tool, but 1/2 inch it would be optimal. But you could do 1/8 inch, and I bet you'd still be able to see it. All right, just kind of blowing away some of this loose stuff because I don't want that blowing into my glue. Get out of here.
But I remember one of my first vehicles, I tried to spray paint my rims. They looked so bad. I done as much as I could, but it still came out terrible.
Yeah, sometimes it depends on the paint you're using, maybe, and the way you're applying it, obviously.
The Sig Pig said,
I did for a future episode have Ash do a paint job and see if she's been paying attention.
So there we go. I'm liking that.
hey now.
We should do that one time. Well, we did have some guests in here, right? We had our cousins.
Yeah.
What'd they do? They spun some leaf, huh?
Yeah, I did that too.
That's right.
Two before that.
Maybe you should spin this one.
Yeah.
What? Let's put a. Oh, we should. All right, I think we need.
Answer the question. How many likes are we at, guys?
What is all around good PSI for your airbrush gun using Iwata Eclipse?
A gun?
PSI.
Oh, on a Eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say like on this, I like to crank it all the way up on the Studio air compressor. So it's probably like around 20. But I would say like 16 to 18. It all kind of depends on what you're doing and how thick your paint is. Because remember, the pressure is relevant to how thick your paint is in the airbrush. This stuff's really thin, you know. So I could spray this at a lower air pressure, but I want this to atomize really good before it hits the surface to make sure that it smooths out really good. By lowering the air pressure, it's going to create bigger droplets. Bigger droplets of glue laying on the surface is going to create a texture. Having a like nice and even and smooth of glue, it's going to allow that leaf to lay down smooth. So that goes with anything, really.
What are the benefits of double leafing?
Yeah, less chance of burning through when you spin it. So if you spin through and you burn through the leaf a little bit, you have that extra layer underneath. That'll so it won't show. Also the edges have a lot better protection and a lot better coverage. You can get a lot crisper line having the double lines. The double leaf. Sorry, double leaf. Confusing myself here.
93 likes.
Oh, so we only need 7 more. Yeah, so hit that like button. We'll give away something. Feeling good. A little tacky. All right, I'm going to let that set up just for another 30 seconds. And I'm going to do one last coat. And then we're going to double leaf this. Should be good.
All right, let's see. Have you always double leafed?
No, I don't always. Nope. If it's like on an art project, sometimes I won't. It all depends. And sometimes I find that I have to because there'll be little errors that you just kind of have to leaf it again.
Looks like we're at 100 now, and so we can spin the wheel for winner. And the Sig P says it's cool as hell you guys hang out together for these streams. It is pretty cool. We have fun doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So we're at 100. If we can get to 125, also we'll spin again.
Yes. So we're going to spin now, and then we're going to spin again.
How many leaf? Oh, I read that too fast. How many sheets of leaf come in a pack?
You got 100 sheets in here.
Can you double leaf with 2 colors?
You can. I don't know if you'd want to do that.
All right, let's spin the wheel before you do that.
Well, it's okay. They know what I'm doing.
They know what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, they saw the first go around.
Well, let's spin it.
Who do we got?
Darren.
Darren won. All right. Probably blew their ears out with that. Sorry. I think I got more excited than he did.
He did get excited. Jeez.
Sorry.
They're all like, no, geez, we're awake. Congrats, Darren. Just email us and
yeah, let us know which one of those you want. You can have the shirt, the leafing stuff, or the candy tri-pack.
whoop, whoop.
And yeah, we get to 125, then we'll be able to do another one. And if we get to 150, hell, we'll do another one.
Yeah, you guys have to let me know though, because I can't see that in. So.
Yeah, so if we hit that number, but I don't know if we will because I'm moving along here and we're almost done. Oh crap! What the? Shoot!
Happened.
Almost lost all my leaf out of here. Okay.
Oh.
There we go. We're gonna put it back.
Darren said, "Wow, you guys scared me." He thought he walked away for a second. You're all, "Hey, Darren, get back here!" He's like, "Whoa, geez, how'd you know I'm leaving? I'm just gonna go. I'm back."
Yeah, I got real excited there.
Sean says, sometimes I see lines after I clear coat my designs. It looks like it may come from where I've used tape to mask off large areas. Have you seen this? Any advice?
Yes, you'll have the little lines there because there's a paint thickness difference. And sometimes when it bridges over, it'll leave that indent there, and you have to really just kind of flush it out. It happened on this one actually. If once, maybe you'd still be able to see it. I pretty much flushed everything out, but when I was first sanding it, same thing. You kind of get those little dips right around the paint edge. It's a pretty natural thing.
And we're at 128 now.
Oh, what the heck? Wow.
We can spin again.
Okay, that was quick.
So if you haven't yet, you can hashtag LiME and it'll enter you into the wheel and we'll spin it.
Yep. Just what she said.
I had my mic off, so hopefully they heard me.
Yep. Just go ahead and hit that LiME button.
Hit the LiME button.
Or I'm trying to do too many things here. Type that LiME, hashtag LiME into the comments, and you'll be entered into the wheel spin.
What do you mean flush it out? Someone asked.
Flush it out means kind of like you're sanding the surface smooth, and it's leveling out the surface because you have paint level differences, especially when the tape comes up to that level. You're going to have, that's obviously going to be taller than the other side, you know. So like on this case, I had the tape and I had laid the tape down and I flushed out both sides just by sanding it.
There's your winner.
Who we got? I'm not going to yell it this time. Armando SP.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I should need a horn or something, huh? Air horn. All right, yeah, you won, man. So yeah, let us know if you've been listening. You can win one of those 3 things. So you just got to email us. I got to hurry because we're giving a lot of stuff away. We're going to get to 150. All right, looking good. Can you hit it with a roller? Looking good. Roll it around here.
Nolan said, I think he's seen how many people watching. There's only 108 likes.
Oh.
Whoops, the daisy.
That's okay. You owe us one, okay?
Now you must.
Yeah, you gotta hit it.
Hurry,
Yeah.
hurry.
All right. Same thing. We're just going to kind of burnish it. On this next layer, though, we're going to want to make sure that we're driving the edge of this brush into that, the tips of the brush into the edge of the tape to make sure that we're tucking in those edges. Because when we go to pull that tape, if there's any kind of loose leaf that hasn't been brushed and pushed down into the edges, it's going to cause a bad edge. It's going to cause a, what's the word I'm looking for? A jagged edge. This is looking great, though. Somebody did mention earlier about it when it folds over, it has a different look. So far, I haven't had that problem. Maybe we'll see. Like I said, if you let it kind of like, say if you were to lay the leaf down and then it kind of blew over and then it like flipped over or something, and it would cause an inconsistent look in the shine, which won't go away when you spin it. So when you lay those sheets down, just make sure you're laying them down. I guess that's one benefit of the roll. The roll's easier to lay out, but I feel like the leaf on the sheets gives it just a slight better spin.
Does the big cartel store have the most items for sale in it?
It's going to have everything, yes. I think Amazon actually will have the most, though. I think. I don't know. I think it all has about the same. I think on the Shopify, not everything's on there.
The SIGP says, I have seen you pull tape, then spin, and seen you spin, then pull tape. Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. Well, it does and it doesn't. If you spin with the tape on, you risk pulling up and dragging on like particles and stuff into your leaf. Could cause it to like scratch it and do different weird stuff. Also, it wears out your pad more often, because when you spin it and you're hitting the edges of the tape, it's rough on that pad. It'll last a lot longer if you pull the tape. Also, another reason is you can't, it's hard to fix the edges if you have, or any kind of imperfections, if you've already spun it, because you don't want to spin it and then fix your edges and then you try to spin it again and it looks weird. It's like you should have waited, because when you're spinning it, you're actually sanding the surface of the leaf, causing it to give it like that 3D kind of a swirl look. So if you put another layer of leaf over top of that, it easily like gets caught into the grooves, and it can cause shiny areas like we talked about earlier.
Like I said, my fat fingers, I always grab 2 or 3 leaves.
I know, me too.
Someone
all on the ground now.
Scott said your site was down for the last few days.
Yes, I noticed that, and then I got it fixed. We had to merge it into another something else. I don't know. But yeah, it's back up now, so we're good. But yeah, thanks for keeping me updated on that, because I didn't know until I looked one day, and then I guess my dude already knew what the problem was. But once again, making sure that we're pushing in to these edges right here. Let me maybe get you close up so you can kind of see. Okay, can you see this edge right here? See how it's just kind of like bridged over? And if you look over here where I've already done, it's nice and like tucked into that tape. That's what we're looking to do. So I'm kind of moving along the surface. You can see here where it's still rough, but you can see here where it's really starting to smooth out. The more you do it with the brush, the better, the more uniform it's going to end up looking. So I like to get up like real close and just to make sure that I'm pushing that leaf into that tape.
Snapfly said, like the video, people. Daddy needs a new t-shirt. Steve says, I want a very small spinner so I can do like pinstriping.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cute. A little baby one. So little and cute.
So the 1/2 inch?
Yeah. Swampy said, I have used a plastic razor on the edges.
Yes, you can do that actually.
Plastic is the key word.
Mm-hmm. You can use a regular one if you want. It's got to be really good. Okay, that's looking really good there. I'm feeling really good about this leaf job. Spinning really good. This might be my best one yet. I'm not kidding. Stick around for this.
Vic sent you a $14 super chat and said, thanks for the videos. I've learned so much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All those super chats from everybody, really, that means a lot, and that helps us keep things going. I already hit this side once, but I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I'm pushing all these edges down. Because like I said, we're not going to pinstripe this, so okay. Let me look. Looking good. Okay, we're good. We got it. Let's pull this tape, huh?
Steve said, I'd do it like that if it was really smooth.
It's really smooth. Yeah, I laid this one out really good. By not allowing that the leaf to wrinkle, and sometimes it's better not to like worry about saving the leaf. Like just make sure you get it down smooth, because you're not going to save the leaf if you're so worried about like only like not using too much. You gotta So that's why I don't cut them personally. I feel like I got more of a shot to lay it down smooth when it's a little bit thicker.
Are you going to candy over there, Lee?
Yes, I'm going to, but I don't think I'm going to do it in this session. I'm gonna go ahead and just spin it, and I'm gonna clear coat it, because it obviously needs to be spun before it's clear coated, because you're not spinning on top of clear coat. But you can candy it after. I just retape it back up, because I am going to be doing more work on top of this tank. And this is the second go around for clear coat on this. I primed it, I flaked it, I cleared it, I sanded it, and then I did the flames on the side with the candy. I cleared it again in another 3 coats, sanded it again here, and now I'm going to lay the leaf out, and then I'll go ahead and put it right back into clear coat. And then it'll get sanded again. And so again, once you figure that out, that not these complex paint jobs are not all done on one single layer. You know, it takes multiple layers, especially if they're like crossing over each other. You can't really paint on top of a thick paint layer that's like a step higher, you know what I mean? Or you're going to be able to see that in the paint. But I don't know. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can get away with it. I don't know.
You think you'll ever offer the brush for sale without the roller?
No. But if you're looking for just the brush, you could literally just get a makeup brush. Go to Walmart. Get a, what do you call that kind of brush? A blush brush?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I haven't examined that brush that much.
But do you use that? What part of your face do you put a brush like that on? Your cheeks? Put it on your cheeks?
I'd have to feel the density of it. Probably, though. Your cheeks, or sometimes the
Like
softness of it is for like your base or your concealer.
Oh yeah, so get the stuff they use for their base and concealer. Just a
Check with your wife,
just a fluffy brush, really.
Brian's like, go check your wife's makeup drawer. I did. How many coats of inner coat to level 2? Oh my gosh, let me try to not laugh. How many coats of inner coat to level 2 layers of leaf, or does it not need to be level for your image transfer portion?
I personally, for image transfer, you're gonna want to put that on top of sanded clear coat, so it'll stick better. And inner coat clear, you're going to want, in order to bridge over a water transfer, you're going to have to clear coat it with 2K clear coat, not inner coat clear. And you're going to have to do it actually twice minimum on that. You're going to have to clear it, sand it, and clear it again in order to get rid of that paint edge. Because believe it or not, those transfers, and we'll be doing that next week, as a matter of fact, right on the top of here, they create more of an edge than you think, even though they are super thin.
Swampy uses his wife's makeup brush too. You little stealers.
Just gonna brush that one more time, make sure before I pull that tape.
Let me feel it.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's probably more of a blush brush.
Blush brush. Buy yourself a blush brush. If not, you can buy the LiME line that comes with the roller. The roller is pretty important. You can get away without the roller though too, if you really need it to. You're just gonna have to brush it a lot. Okay. All right, let's do it. Pull this tape. Okay, once again, we're going to take the tape and we're going to pull it away. Oh, yeah. Okay. So far, so good.
Trick to pulling the tape so you don't F up the leaf edge.
Yep. Just like that.
Well, that was satisfying, he says.
Not that. Don't pull it this way. Pull it this way. That scares me even to put that tape that way. Because it makes sense, right? You're pulling this way. You're not pulling into your leaf that could like rip it the opposite way into it.
What's the best way to finish the fuel neck to keep from paint separating?
I like to just tape it up just like that. But yeah, it's one of those things that is a problem with a lot of painters, right? We had a long discussion with another painter about that same thing.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
But I never really haven't had that many problems. Like I just tape it up just like that. All right, so I'm gonna take my brush again, and then you see these like it'll kind of hang up on the edges a little bit. So I'm just gonna lightly, once again, I'm brushing back and forth long ways like this instead of like that. That way I'm not like pulling in and out, you know, and maybe ripping some of that leaf that needs to be there. Okay. All right. Let's grab the spinner, huh? Okay. This spin tool, available LimeLine on Amazon or anywhere on LimeLine websites. Looks like I spun it with the gold with it last. Let's clean that up a little bit. This is a 5,000 grit pad that is on top on Velcro that has this little rubber backing pad, which kind of helps the support on that. But this is basically all we're doing is with this 5,000 grit sanding pad is we're pressing down on the surface and we're going to give it at least a quarter of a spin. I do about a half a spin. I don't know. I do whatever I'm not sure what I do, but quarter spin works, half spin works. You could put this thing in a drill. A drill works too, although I don't really prefer a drill. I feel like I have, I just like the control of my hand, and I feel like it does just as good a job. Less chance of screwing it up for me. So that's what I'll do. We'll go ahead and start with this, and we'll do about a 60% or a 40% overlap. I'll kind of show you that here. Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Good.
Okay, there's the first spin. We'll do the second spin right here, right on the edge. Crowns up. These ones are a little tricky because there's a crown right there. Let's flatten it out right here.
Is that the 1-inch spinner?
It is. Oh, it kind of spun that one off a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that again. Okay, there we go. You can always spin it again. No biggie. Doing about, I'm giving it some pretty good pressure, you know. It looks like that one possibly burned through in a couple of areas right there. But once again, we have the extra safety layer of leaf underneath that, so you can't actually see it. But there's a couple of chunks there that probably would have shown the base color if we wouldn't have double leaf that. That one got a little crazy. Let's try that one again. There we go. can see how good those are looking. Because we got that leaf laid out really nice and smooth right there.
If you mess up on spacing, is there any way to fix it?
Yeah, you can kind of respin it. But there's a lot of give with these. If you're off a little bit, you really can't tell.
How much pressure are you pushing on it?
I'm pushing on it pretty good. Like about as much pressure as if like you were, I don't know what you do, like
I know.
like if you're brushing your teeth, maybe. You know, you kind of like put just enough pressure. Like, yeah, I would say about as much pressure when you brush your teeth. Right?
Huh.
Might work. Somebody try that and tell me if that works.
Not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you can judge that either. But,
I just thought of that off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think of the way.
All right, well, that's it, because I'm going to go ahead and leave a little bit of this because I do like to include that in my next video. I like to get some better video footage. So I want to be able to have a little bit left there to be able to show that. But you can see how great those spins are looking. Like, yeah, I kind of had a feeling that those would turn out real nice. You can see that. So you can see right here where it's kind of like it's still shiny. So because I blended out paint on both these sides, so it did kind of left this low. So when I bridged it over, when I sanded it, it bridged it over and made it smooth, even though you can still feel it right there. But that's what happens. That's just the paint edge. So just got to sand it a little better.
Steve says, "Oh, could you do the first in gold, then silver, then get the burn through?"
No, because the burn through is not consistent.
Maybe if you push harder than you were brushing your teeth.
Bad idea.
If you push as hard as you were when you're going to try to put on a press-on fingernail. This guy just comparisons. Oh, jeez. Well, if you're bleeding, that's too much pressure to brush your teeth.
It's about as hard as you put on a tourniquet.
No. That's false, too. Can you clean the tank before clearing over leaf?
Can you what?
Can you clean the tank before clearing over leaf?
Yes, you can. You just kind of don't want to really wipe down the leaf too much. But I'll do that. I'll like wipe down all the other areas, but I'll just kind of brush that with my leafing brush. Actually, I do that because you do get a little bit of a sanding, little sanding residue off of the leaf. I'll just brush it again. So I'll clean it like that, and then I'll maybe a little bit of glass cleaner. But make sure you don't let another layer of leaf stick on top of that. It's already been spun. So if a leaf happens to like get brushed into that, it's going to stick into those grooves and you're not going to be able to get it out because it's already has like a grit to it. Yeah, but it looks really good.
Looks good.
All right, guys. Appreciate all the super chats. I'm glad that people won today. We have 3 or 4 winners, right? 4? Cool. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. Next week, we'll be back with image transfer on the tank. I think I'm doing an alien face. I'm getting stuff all over that. It's coffee. Jeez. And then we'll kind of show you how that's done. Hopefully that goes good because sometimes that can be a little tricky.
When you pinstripe the leaf edge, can you lean into the edge as a guide?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
When you pinstripe the leaf edge, can you lean into the edge as a guide?
Yes, you can. And I don't know much about pinstriping, but we were able to get this edge clean enough that we're not going to need a pinstripe on here.
Doesn't matter which direction you spin, so the overlap is the same. Like start at the back of both sides and finish in the middle on the front of the tank.
Huh. Interesting.
Doesn't matter which direction you spin it.
It doesn't matter which direction you spin it, but I don't know if it would make a difference if you alternated that. Like maybe you spun one counterclockwise and the next one you spun clockwise. I don't know. Here, let me spin a little bit of this. That's a good question. Let's try it. We got some space right here. All right, so this one we're going to spin clockwise like I usually do. And this one will spin the other way. Ooh, that's hard.
It's hard to go that way.
No difference. That answered that question. Looks the same. But that was worth a shot.
Tell them what the prizes are again.
The prizes are, so if you've won, you can either win a shirt, which it's a button-up shirt. It's a nice one. Or you win the tri-pack of the candy pack, which is 3 of these. You get the black, or no, I'm sorry, the red, the gold, and the blue. Each one of these. Or you can get the leafing. You get the spinner. You get these 2 tools. And then you'll get a pack of the leaf that we did, silver leaf. So yeah, you can choose. That way you're not getting duplicates of stuff that you already have. Maybe you've won before, which is great. But yeah, that way you have a chance to pick what you need. We're not giving you stuff that's just going to sit on your shelf. Okay, that's it. Yeah. We made it through another one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on the image transfer, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
See you guys next Thursday.
Later.
Have a good night.